5 tips to start speaking Mandarin Chinese fast. Hi guys! Thanks for stopping by at my dialect.com channel. Today, I would like to share with you my secret weapon in learning Mandarin Chinese, and once you will understand it, you will never say that learning to speak Mandarin Chinese is difficult. On this video, I will share with you the 5 tips to start speaking Mandarin Chinese fast. Please subscribe to my That's Why I Love Chinese or dialect channel and never miss any new cool videos I will publish on the topic of learning to speak Chinese language. So let's get started right away, because these simple 5 tricks will help you to speak Mandarin from the day one. For a long time I thought that learning to speak Chinese language must be very difficult. All people around me were making me believe that as well. Even now, when I mention to people that I am learning Chinese language, I get a stare on their faces. What? You are learning Chinese? It's so hard and difficult. Why are you studying this if you can already speak English? And all I think to myself is that they have never tried it before, or that they have no idea what's going on in the current world. For me, learning Chinese has become a passion, the same way I teach Wing Chun, which is a very beautiful form of Chinese martial art, and I see a lot of similarities in learning the language and learning this martial art. As a matter of fact, I teach myself to speak Mandarin the same way I teach student Wing Chun, and it does work. Now, go and grab a pen and paper and write down these 5 tricks to learn Mandarin Chinese. Tip number 1. Allow yourself to make mistakes. I like to start with this one first because I see a lot of students being afraid of making mistakes. I think it's a side effect of learning in the class environment at school. Many teachers and books will teach you a lot of stuff that you don't need while learning the language at the beginning. They will teach you a lot of grammar, exceptions, and dwell too much on saying things correctly. But then your mind will be always thinking about how to say it correctly without making mistakes. I believe this is wrong. When you learn the language this way, you will always be in thinking mode and your speech will be so slow that it's not natural. So my advice is that you try to say the word as you hear it. Try to match the sound of the word as the native speaker would say it. Say it aloud so many times until it will become natural. You see, you will not learn this from a book or from a teacher who only wants you to know the grammar stuff. But there is no conversation during the class. That is why I recommend to learn from courses that have audios and videos. Below the video are my favorite Mandarin Chinese learning resources that truly work and make you ready to speak from day one. Learn the Mandarin Chinese alphabet and sounds. Pinyin. We have discussed how you should not be afraid to make mistakes. Please remember this and keep it deeply rooted in your mind. That way, you will never stop the action and will master the language much faster. Now it's time to master the Chinese sounds or pinyin. That is the first thing you need to pay attention to. You will see that most of the sounds will be similar to English language, but some will be completely out of your league. Again, do not be afraid to make mistakes. After a week of trying, I believe you will already know which sounds are easy for you and which are the most difficult ones. Once you know this information, focus all your time to master the most difficult Mandarin sounds and tones combinations. This way, you will improve with much higher speed than find other ways to learn from hearing and repeating the sounds. For this, the Rocket Chinese, for example, is the best since it has voice recognition, where you can hear the sound of a native speaker and then you can record your version and compare it to the native version. Again, there is a feature that can't be duplicated or learned from any Mandarin language book. Okay, tip number 3. Start learning basic Mandarin Chinese grammar and vocabulary. When you go to this stage, you should be pretty confident in pronouncing Mandarin Chinese tones and letters. Now, you need to learn some basic grammar patterns in order to make sentences and some easy words so you can practice the patterns. The best way to learn new words is to find what you are interested in. Once you find this interest, learn vocabulary for it and try to speak about the topic for a minute or two. Tip number 4. Create your inner dialogues in Mandarin Chinese. This one is a very important trick. As soon as you know how to create the basic sentences and get some new vocabulary, you need to immediately use it. What I'm doing is having inner conversation in my head. I role-play all kinds of situations, which will keep my brain busy. Now, it does not mean you don't speak aloud. I watched some actors doing some role-playing for themselves in front of a mirror. Do the same. Basically, first create a dialogue in your mind. Try to visualize the particular situation. Then repeat it like 5 times in your mind without making any sounds, just in your head. After that, go in front of a mirror and repeat the same visualization, but now you try to talk like it is for real. You will be amazed on how fast your language will improve. Of course, you can do this in the kitchen, when you prepare your meals, in the shower, or wherever you are and whenever you feel like it. Heck, even walking down the street, just pretend that you are talking on the phone. Nobody will suspect that you're just playing. And last, tip number 5. Talk to real people in Chinese. This is the last step, but very important one. Without this, you will only guess if the words you are saying are correctly pronounced. I suggest to find somebody who speaks Mandarin Chinese already, preferably a native speaker, since he or she can give you immediate feedback on how they say it versus how you are saying it. This way, your Mandarin learning will become as natural as possible, and you will know that you are really able to speak real Chinese. What if you do not have a Mandarin language speaker around? Do not worry, there are plenty of opportunities that you can find native speakers online. My favorite place is italki. That is a site where you can truly find Mandarin Chinese language exchange partners or even professional tutors that will cost less than a class at your local boarding language school. You can learn more about italki website by clicking the link below this video. You should give it a try if you are serious about speaking Chinese fluently but have nobody to practice with. And without practicing with native speakers, your progress will be very slow. Later, you might even get discouraged and frustrated. And then you will just quit. That would be a pity. You have started a long journey to master one of the most beautiful languages in the world. So go for it all the way. Okay, you have now discovered what I believe is the only way of learning to speak Chinese fluently. As you can see, it is not so difficult and it's not some rocket science or secret. Just common sense that will make the learning process more fun. And I always say that if it's not fun, it's not worth doing it. You need to ask yourself a question. Why do you want to learn to speak Mandarin Chinese? Once you have clear answer in your mind, there is no doubt that you cannot do that. Just go for it and have fun by learning to speak Mandarin Chinese language. I hope you did write down those 5 tricks to learn Mandarin Chinese. Oh, and if you didn't do it already, subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like, and if you have any questions regarding to learning Chinese, say it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video.